What's good? It is your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Sports TV, and I am back with another video. In this video, I'll be touching on 3 topics. First up, is Callum Smith now the best super middleweight in the world? This past Friday, we seen him absolutely dominate George Groves, the former WBA super middleweight champion, to take that title, winning his first world title as a professional, also winning the Muhammad Ali trophy as part of the World Boxing Super Series super middleweight tournament. He definitely feels that he's the best now because he stated that he defeated George Groves. George Groves was the best at 168. Now he no longer has that title. He's amongst the best. But you got to look at the other guys that are at 168. You have the WBC super middleweight champion, David Benavidez, which has been tabbed by many people in and around boxing as the guy to be the top dog at 168. He's only 20 years old. He has very good hand speed, tremendous power, although he has hit a bump in the road. A couple weeks ago, it was revealed that he tested positive for cocaine, which is definitely not a good look, but he's a young guy, only 20 years old. Hopefully he learns from that mistake and, is able to move forward in his career because his potential and his ceiling is high as hell. And you got the WBO super middleweight champion, Gilberto Ramirez, who is 6'3", southpaw, rangy, can punch, can box. Has kind of regressed a little bit as of late, but he's been in there with Arthur Abraham, Jesse Hart, and there's rumors going around that him and Jesse Hart are likely to fight later this year. I'm thinking in December in a rematch of their terrific fight from last September. And then last but not least, you have the IBF super middleweight champion, Jorge Linares, who just fought yesterday and got a decision victory, and it was a lackluster fight, but he has wins over Andre Durrell. Probably should have had the first one over him, but unfortunate situations, that was ruled a disqualification, but got his rematch and stopped him in the rematch. He's been in there with Matt Korobov, lost that fight. He's been in there with the great Julian Jackson's son, Julius Jackson, knocked him out. So those guys are the top 4 out of the champions. And Callum Smith, got to be honest, man, he looked tremendous against George Groves. Yes, Groves was coming off of an injury that required surgery, but Callum Smith at 6'3", has a very good jab, underrated in the power department. He's 25-0 with 18 knockouts, so his record does indicate that he has some pop, and getting a stoppage victory over Groves does lend credits to his power being above average. So I think with the boxing skills he has, the confidence, the jab, the power, the body attack, I think he's definitely has pushed himself to the forefront of people's mind when it comes to assessing these top 168 pounders. A lot of people are going to still say David Benavidez due to the youth, the power, the speed, the skills. Some people are going to say Ramirez, like I said, he's another tall super middleweight. Him and Callum Smith are about the same height at 6'3". Like I said, he's southpaw, so that's a difficult challenge in itself. And he has the power and the range and the boxing ability to compete and beat any of these top 168-pound champions. And then Jorge Linares, who I was high on. I'm kind of iffy now because he fought down to his opponent last night. I can't think of the guy's name, but we all know that he's a very capable champion. He can punch with both hands. He can cut the ring off. He has a very underrated ring IQ. And he has very good punch placement, very accurate. But all these guys are very much beatable. And the only way we're going to see who's going to be the best is if they fight each other. But if you ask me, I think it's really too close to say anybody is the clear-cut number 1 guy in the division right now. But I think that Callum Smith definitely enhanced his stock and opened some eyes with this performance, man. You can't just say, oh, he'll get his ass beat by such and such now. You seen him prove himself against a a proven veteran, former champion who's been in the ring twice with Carl Froch, James DeGale. He's been in the ring with Badu Jack, and to defeat Groves like he did was very impressive because honestly he was dominant throughout that fight from beginning to end. Yes, Groves had his moments, but it was nothing that Smith couldn't handle with that jab, that body punch. He has an underrated left hook and a nice right hand as well. So hopefully these guys can get in the ring with each other start next year, and we can see these unification bouts take place and really start to get some clarity on who indeed is the top guy at 168. Now let's talk about Amir Khan. I will post a link from 3kingsboxing.com that just went up less than 30 minutes ago. I did an article on it. Eddie Hearn has come out and stated that unless he can reach a deal with Manny Pacquiao and Kell Brook this week, that Amir Khan's ring return will be pushed back to February of next year. We all know Khan is coming off of a hard-fought unanimous decision victory over Samuel Vargas earlier this month, where he was dropped in that fight, but did drop Vargas twice and won, a unanimous decision. And we know that he's long for fights with Manny Pacquiao, more so than Kell Brook, but those guys are bitter rivals from the same country. It's clear that the disdain is there, and this is a fight that should have been done 3 or 4 years ago. Both guys were at welterweight. Kell Brook recently stated that he's moving back down. He hasn't fought since fighting in March against Sergey Rebachenko, where he blew him out, I believe, in the 3rd round. And I think Kell Brook is kind of in a midlife crisis in terms of what he wants to do in his career and what weight class he wants to fight at. And when you look at Manny Pacquiao is coming off of a 7-round KO victory over Lucas Matisse to win the WBA secondary welterweight title. It's rumors that he's in negotiations for a possible rematch with Floyd Mayweather Jr. So if that is indeed true, that's going to take his focus and take him out of the running. Well, I wouldn't say he's in the running because he's the champion. It'll just take him out of the picture because he'll have bigger fish to fry with a big-ass payday coming his way and a chance to get revenge on a guy to defeat him 3 years ago. So I think when it's all said and done, we're going to finally get Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. That is the only logical fight for either guy right now, unless a title fight opportunity is being presented to them. And if that's not the case, then they need to go ahead and fight each other, make big money, because the fight has already been devalued due to both guys not being able to put their egos to the side and come up to an agreement and to reach an agreement to fight. Therefore, both guys have had to fight other opponents, and both guys have had devastating losses. Brook lost both times by stoppage to Gennady Golovkin and Errol Spence Jr. and suffered broken orbital bones on both eyes in the course of those fights. So that has put him out for close to a year. And then he's come back in March but hasn't fought since. So it's been 6 months since he's fought. And he planning on going back down to 147, which is going to be difficult. Eddie Hearn has some skepticism about it, but he believes in his fighter, and he believes that if he has the proper time and he's doing everything right, that he can make weight. So I think that ultimately, when it's all said and done, we will get Khan versus Brook next year, and hopefully in February. On to the final topic of the video. Last night we seen the 140-pound debut of Jorge Linares, who absolutely destroyed Abner Cotto in 3 rounds. We all know that Linares is coming off of a 10th round TKO defeat at the hands of Vasily Lomachenko in a fight that was absolutely great. He dropped Lomachenko for the first time as a professional in his career, and he was very much in that fight. Probably was either down 1, tied, or up 1 and going into that 10th round. But Lomachenko was able to land that beautiful body shot to put Linares down. And you fast forward about 3 or 4 months later, 5 months later, now he making his junior welterweight debut. That means he's joining the ranks of Josh Taylor, Victor Postal, Regis Prograis, Maurice Hooker, Alex Aceto, Relic, all these guys, Jose, Ramirez, all these guys he's joined the ranks of. And I think that Jorge Linares has a lot left. He's known for his tremendous hand speed. He has good power. His reflexes are okay. He's up there in age now. I think 32 years old. But he's still fast as ever, still athletic, still powerful enough, and still skilled. One of the better skill fighters in boxing today. That I think that if you put him in the ring with these top guys at 140, I think he can do well. I can't say anybody convincingly beats him. You got Prograis, the power puncher from New Orleans, who is a terrific fighter, but hasn't fought a guy like Linares ever in his career. You got Josh Taylor, who is a terrific prospect. I love Josh Taylor as a fighter, man. He's coming off of his biggest challenge today when he stepped up and fought Vitor Postal in a fight that could have really went either way if it wasn't for those knockdowns late in the fight. He's still relatively young. I think he had 14 fights in with 11 knockouts. Maurice Hooker, a guy who can punch, got his biggest victory over Terry Flanagan when he went over there across the pond to take that title from him. Alex Aceto, a guy he's going to be facing in his mandatory. He's a all-action fighter that got a big punch, but he's definitely hittable. Then you look at Jose Ramirez, a very good fighter who defended his title for the first time against Orozco a couple weeks ago, but he's beatable as well. So I think that Linares will be definitely a force to be reckoned with, although some of those guys I just mentioned, Prograis and Taylor, are locked up in the WBSS World Boxing Super Series Junior Welterweight tournament. Guys like Aceto, Hooker, Ramirez are not tied up, and those are all potential matchups with Linares, especially with HBO being, out of business now. Although Linares fought his last fight on ESPN, these fights can be had, man. Bob Arum, Golden Boy, and Top Rank can get back to making fights and doing business like it once was in the past, and we can start seeing some good fights at 140. But I definitely put Jorge Linares at the top of the 140-pound division based off skills, accomplishments, and experience alone. Yes, his debut was against Abner Cotto, but he still is the same guy we know. Still skillful, athletic, and fast, and he's going to be a tough out for anybody. But it'll be interesting to see how his punch resistance is and how his skin holds up, because he cuts easily as well. But that's going to be it for this video. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell button to be notified every time I upload content. Drop your comments in the comment section down below, giving me your thoughts. You can check my social medias out down in the description box below, my Venmo account as well. If you'd like to make a donation, big or small, anything is greatly appreciated. Shout out to the movement and everybody else that is moving with us. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news and information reported the way it should be. Shout out to the LDBC and everybody in between. Until next time, I am out. Peace.